guys, welcome to the 9th edition of 5 on Fry with me, Ajay Fry. Our topics tonight, a tragedy, a song I really like, an upcoming event I'm excited about, my bachelor party, and our mystery Canadian cosplay cutie. Let's begin. So, Wednesday, something pretty awful happened in Virginia. Awful things seem to happen in the United States on a pretty much daily basis. I get nervous every time I have to travel there for work, and I'm actually kind of thinking I'm recording this on Thursday to upload on Friday, and maybe some other terrible tragedy will happen between now and when this gets uploaded, and I should have been talking about that instead of what happened on Wednesday. To be honest, I really wrestled with whether or not to include this topic in the show because I don't want the show to be depressing, and I don't want it to be too serious either, but I do want to talk about important things, but as a Canadian who doesn't live in fear of violence, I'm not sure I have anything particularly meaningful to add to the conversation. Or should I say argument, as that seems to be the default setting for online communication in the aftermath of a tragedy as we all rush to wrap our heads around it and offer our opinions of why it happened and how we can prevent it from happening in the future. Anyway, I realize that my opinion of what happened and what needs to be done about it isn't educated enough to be of any value. All that said, I try to live my life from a very simple moral standpoint. I always try to let love motivate my decisions and actions. One of my favorite comedians, Bill Hicks, said it best, so let me paraphrase. This isn't real. It's just a ride, and we can change it anytime we want. It's a choice between fear and love. The eyes of fear want you to put bigger locks on your doors, buy guns, and close yourself off. The eyes of love, instead, see all of us as one. It really is that simple. So rest in peace, Bill, and Allison, and Adam. Okay, let's cleanse our palates with this silly story. So a couple of weeks back, I rented a car to go visit my parents in Niagara Falls where they recently moved, and I was really excited. I got a bunch of my old albums on CD and brought them down to the rental car to listen to all my favorite songs really loud and sing along without embarrassment, and the rental car didn't have a CD player. When did CDs become an obsolete technology? Anyway, maybe it was a blessing in disguise because I got to listen to one of my favorite radio stations, Indie 88, and they played a really catchy song called So Down Low by the Elwins, and I thought, hey, these guys sound familiar, and I realized that I'd seen them perform live at a wedding last summer. You see, the groom Alex is the older brother of one of the guys in the band. When I got home, I decided to give the song a Google and found the video for it, and it's a pretty awesome video, so I thought I would share it with you. I suggest you play it loud. Speaking of weddings, mine is now a month away, so now's my chance to escape! But seriously, last week one of my best buddies, Paul, organized a bachelor party for me. The first event of the evening, about 13 of us met up at LockQuest, which is Toronto's best escape game. That's their slogan, but it's true. It was actually created and is maintained by a good friend of mine, Ryan Crichton. On top of creating LockQuest, he's also a great computer game designer. So yeah, there might be a little bit of a bias because Ryan's a good friend of mine, but truly, it was an awesome escape room, way better than the previous 3 that I had experienced, and we managed to escape with only 3 minutes left. For that, we all went over to a great bar on College at Ossington called the Caledonian, where we enjoyed some snacks and some drinks, and we played a few rounds of Werewolf. I'll tell you about Werewolf in another episode of 5 on Fry. Anyway, there was this moment where everyone was around the table and there were about 14, 15 of us, and I remembered back to being a kid in elementary school and even a bit in high school where I was bullied and really didn't make very many friends, and I used to think that I would never have a bachelor party because I just didn't have enough friends to warrant such a thing. So it was really great to have so many friends supporting me as I enter this new stage of my life. And if you're out there thinking, you know, I'm having trouble socializing, I'm a young person, and things aren't going well for me, I know it's one of those cliched things that you hear now because of the campaign, but it is true. It gets better. It sometimes just takes a while for you to meet those awesome people who will be your friends for life. So thanks again, Paul. Fan Expo is next weekend, and I'm getting excited. I can't wait to catch up with my old friends and maybe make some new ones. Space will have a booth at Fan Expo, of course, but the details of where it is and when Teddy Morgan and I will be doing photo ops and signings are still in the works. But you don't need an official photo op or signing opportunity to come say hi to me. Don't be shy. In fact, if you're old enough to drink, Teddy Morgan and I will be hosting an official Fan Expo after party on Friday, September 4th at 9 p.m. at Versailles Lounge on King West. A place that looks far too posh for me to ever consider going to, were it not this particular circumstance where I know there will be an abundance of my fellow geeks and nerds there. Speaking of nerds and geeks, this week's Canadian cosplay cutie is a geek who plays a nerd on TV. Jodelle Ferland can currently be seen playing the tech nerd 6 in the awesome series Dark Matter, which happens to have its big 2-hour Season 1 finale tonight on Space. Now, she deserves the title of Canadian cosplay cutie too. She was born in Nanaimo, BC, She's done lots of great cosplays, and is clearly a cutie. Now, unlike my previous Canadian cosplay cuties, I didn't get her permission to include her in the show, so I hope it's alright, and if not, well, I'll beg your forgiveness when I moderate the Dark Matter panel at Fan Expo next weekend. And that's all for 5 on Fry this week. Please follow me on Twitter and Instagram. You can subscribe to this channel as well as my vlog, link in the description down below. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the future.